It's finally time, guys. The moment I've been working toward for so many episodes. We are going to build the tree farm today, so let's get started at my shop. Now we are over here at my random item shop for one very specific reason, but now that I've arrived, I've just thought of another reason. I wanted to replace this door with an iron door, because I've been watching other people's videos because we get a lot of mobs out here, right? Mobs everywhere on this tree, and I've been watching people's videos. They're coming into my shop, especially at night when there's mobs everywhere, and they're opening the door and they're walking in. They're like, oh yeah, this is interesting. And they're leaving the door open, and I'm just cringing, thinking, please no creepers, please no creepers. So I need to put an iron door there. But the main thing I've come here to do is I want to change this feature item. I don't think people realize this sword is for sale, and that's a really, really good sword. So I think we're going to get rid of this feature item gimmick, and we're just going to put it in one of the chests here. And look at this, we've got so many sales already. I love getting the nether quartz. It means I don't have to go and get it myself. So I've got lots of new items here. We've got some boss armor that because I've been getting a lot of gold at the gold farm for my new tree farm. I've had lots of levels, so I've been making great tools, and none of these cost me any diamonds. I can buy these off my villagers and just enchant them up. And a bunch of books, and I've got a compass, and I thought I brought a clock. Yes, I did. Another clock. So we're going to throw them in there, get my goodies from my payment chest, and then we're going to go to the tree farm. So I've had a dilemma that I've been pondering for the last day or two. How to run the track for the minecart. Like, am I going to have one minecart that does the entire area? No way. It would take forever. And I'm very careful about minecarts stopping on tracks. When you leave the area and the chunks unload, they're just going to stop on the tracks. In an area this big, it would be so hard to get it back. Plus, I want to have a portal in this tree farm because this is going to be a community tree farm. It's for everyone. I want people to be able to get here from the nether. So we're going to have a nether portal in here so people can just walk out the portal while the minecarts are running. So that's something I didn't want to do. So I've been setting the tracks up to have a single minecart going on every single line of the farm. Now that's probably overkill, and I've been thinking to myself, well, maybe I should make it run up in that direction and then come back here and just do a little loop that way, but I don't know. I'm tossing up between having too many minecarts going and a ton of lag, or the other option is have the minecarts run a longer course so there's fewer running, but then someone can switch the minecarts off and then just walk out the portal and the minecart's still going and they get stuck on the tracks. So I am opting to go for overkill. We're going to have a ton of minecarts, one for every single line. So what I'm going to do to try and combat the lag is I'm going to have a bunch of levers with a whole line of redstone lamps behind them. So when you turn on the lever, a certain amount of lamps will light up and you'll be able to look down because there'll be glass above the minecart. You'll be able to see them shoot off. So when you want to, like, if I'm just farming a line of trees here, I probably only need to turn on 2 levers and only have about 16 minecarts running. I don't need them running around the entire farm. So that is the plan, and then when you switch them off, they've only got a little bit of distance to travel to get back to home before you leave the area. And I'm also kind of thinking about going a little bit crazy, like when you turn a lever on to start the minecarts, wouldn't it be cool if that turned off the nether portal? Put the nether portal out, because you can do that with a bucket of water, I think. And then once all the minecarts are turned off again, you can light the portal. Maybe. I don't know. We'll think about it. But that's the plan. So I'm going to, I think, build one little section with one lever, get all the tracks in place, put some minecarts in, and then we'll see what kind of lag we get. Should be fun. Check this out. I've been doing a little bit of work. I've just placed 1 or 2 rails, not too many, just a few. But I tell you what, I am about to run out of iron. I think it's amazing how much iron it takes just to place this many rails. But it's coming along. So I did do what I said I was going to do and just built one section. And I tried it out for lag, and there was no lag to speak of whatsoever. It was working just fine. So I've gone and put an entire section in here, and I've nearly done the other side as well. I've just got to rig up some more of this junk. But the way it works is we flick the lever, and this is cool. Check that out. And we've got another one over here. So all the redstone lamps come on to indicate which minecart lanes are running, but you'll be able to see them through the glass. And we can set another one going, and there's no lag to speak of. Like, my game's really laggy right now, just because other people are using the internet, but, you know, this is working great. They get a little bit wonky. Oh no, that's working just fine. Usually they get a little bit mixed up, but I'll show you something weird. Let's just turn all of these off. So we don't intend to have all of them running at the same time like I am now, but watch this. Look at that. They disappear into the block, and that is a visual glitch. I got really worried when I first built it and I saw that. Those have completely vanished. If I wait around, they'll start poking out a little bit, but what'll happen if I log out of the game and log back in, they'll all be sitting in place exactly where they're supposed to be. So that's nothing to worry about. It just looks a little bit weird. Now I've done, see, they're starting to come out right now. There we go. I've done a design by Il Mango here for unloading them, and I've used his design because you can have them right next to each other, and it's pretty simple the way it works, except it uses quasi-connectivity, which I don't completely understand, but I can explain to you how this thing works. So how do I set this up? I think I've got all the goodies I need here. So you've got your... Now we've got a hopper that the minecart will unload into, and that's it's all going to go into a dropper, and that dropper is going to spit all the items into a water stream. And what we do is we just have an observer block clock. So we've got two observers facing this direction, and they send a signal into this block which powers the dropper. Then we've got observers looking at the dropper. So when that dropper gets powered, the observers will pick that up, send a signal, and we've got another dropper here, and they will power that dropper. And so it just goes in a big loop, and you can hear some clicking. So if I were to throw some items into the dropper right now, basically that's how it works. Anything that goes in there is going to be spat out. But we don't want this clock running all the time, so basically we've got to turn it off, and we'll do that by locking this dropper with a bit of quasi-connectivity. So I'll just grab a bit of redstone, we'll put a torch up there, and that torch locks this dropper and just turns this little clock off. So when we want to start the clock to get all the items spitting in the water stream, all we've got to do is turn off that torch, and we do that with a comparator right there. So as soon as an item goes in the hopper, the torch is going to turn off and our clock starts up. So it's pretty cool. You can build these all side by side and they don't interfere with one another. I'm going to sleep before we get beasties everywhere. Okay guys, I am going to get this section up and running, and then I think we're going to start working on the storage system, which I'm not sure how we're going to do yet. And immediately I thought you could have a little walkway in the center with chests on either side, but I don't know how much room I'm going to have for item sorters. I might have to dig right down just to give myself enough room to put it in, but we'll figure it out. I'll start designing stuff, start building, and I'll see what we come up with. So I double checked to see how close you could plant the trees, and it looks like leaving a 2-block gap allows you to plant every single tree. But I figured if they all started growing and you were doing maybe acacia and you had one there and they were leaning in this way, I would imagine that one in the middle would just just fail to grow. So I've decided to go a little bit bigger, not just because of that reason, but because it's more aesthetically pleasing to have a 3-block gap instead of a 2-block gap. And there's also a little bit of method in my madness here. So I'm using a coarse dirt in the middle so it won't turn to grass, and then grass around the outside, just because I didn't want to dictate to people exactly what trees they had to plant in what section. So I don't intend to have like, this is for oak, that's for birch, blah, blah, blah. I want people to be able to come in and just use the entire area. So if they really need dark oak, then they can go ahead and plant a 2x2 dark oak tree in all these lines if they want to. They can do whatever they want. But, if they want to do acacia, then it's all marked out for them where they can go ahead and plant it. But this has taken forever. It seems like everything I do, I say this is taking forever. And I'm about to run out of glowstone as well. It's looking like it's going to be one of those kind of Minecraft projects where I just toil for hours and hours, but we are getting there. And I'm not really sure what to do with these areas that are directly beneath the staircase, so there's not a lot of room here. I mean, I can start putting grass in when we get to about here. There's enough height there, but yeah, that might be a bit of wasted space. I've got to think of something to put. I can't have wasted space. I've got to think of something, but I've also kind of decided not to do the AFK Fisher. I got a much better idea of what to do in that area over there. And actually, we could probably do that in the other 3 corners as well. It could be cool. I won't tell you the idea yet, because I'll probably change my mind again, but, otherwise I'll just build it and then I'll show you then. But, oh yes, the other thing. Oak trees. Maybe I do need a section for oak trees, because I've got to have the block above them. I think it's about 8 blocks above, just so we don't get the massive oak trees that everybody hates. So maybe for one little section I will put in an oak tree section. Don't know yet. We'll figure it out. We're in the belly of the beast. And I brought you down here because I changed my mind again. So I was going to build my storage system down here, underground. I was going to knock out this bit of floor here and have heaps and heaps of chests to store all the goodies. But then I realised I don't really need that big of a storage system. When people come here, they're going to chop what they need and then they're going to take it with them and go home. So I don't need too many chests. So what I decided to do is just send all the goodies from these water streams up a glass item elevator. And there's no easy way to get out of here just yet, so we will pearl it. Nice. So this is my glorious storage system. It looks a little bit ugly at the moment. I will cover it up, but not this episode, but we'll pretty it up a little bit. So the items just come up here, and it's your normal sort of storage. And I've got 3 sections for each kind of wood. So I've got the logs, I've got the saplings, and the leaves, and they're all ready to go. So I think that looks pretty good. It doesn't take up too much room, and it's kind of nice having it upstairs here. And I've built it underneath the staircase here, so I wouldn't have been able to really plant any trees here anyway. And what I think I'm going to do is I'll probably put the portal on this side. So you walk out here looking at the farm, and it's nice and close to the storage system. So when you want to leave, you can just grab your goodies and run away. I've also put in a bit of an overflow here in case you drop your axe or something on the ground and the hopper minecart picks it up. You'll be able to get it back here, and in case I doubt any of these are ever going to overflow, maybe leaves, if you're going to town cutting down leaves, if that all fills up, they'll just come through into the overflow system here. So yes, it's looking very good. Look how much work I've done. We finally did it. It's all filled in except for a little bit over here, because I didn't fill this in not knowing what I was going to do, but I have figured out something for these areas, and I've built it over there. I think you can guess what it is. I figured, well, if you're coming here to chop leaves, you might as well come here to chop vines as well. Now, it's not a huge vine farm. This is an Exuma one, Exuma Void design. So you just come down here, and you can chop away at all the vines. They haven't grown very much yet, and you're not able to reach the source vine, so you're not going to be able to get rid of it. And to pick up all the items, just got some buttons here. That dispenses water and pushes them all towards me, and I can pick them up through this little gap right here. And we can turn the water off. So that's pretty cool, but I won't be able to do that on these other staircases. That was the original plan. I was going to put a vine underneath each staircase. But then I realised, hang on, I had to dig down a bit to fit that in. And I've got all the rails in here, so unless I do like a really small one, I don't really think it's worth it. We may just make this the oak tree section. I'll put a few thingies up there so the oak trees can't grow too tall. And we can probably do that on the other side as well. But guess what, guys? This farm is ready to go. Almost. There is one problem. It's a good thing. I wasn't sure if I was going to get ocelots spawning up here. I put the grass down hoping they would. And yes, we get them. So this is also an ocelot farm. But we're not getting very many. But they come along. They come along because we're in a jungle biome. So I don't actually want to have people start using this farm until I've made it so the ocelots can't jump down there and run onto the tracks and maybe stop a minecart. I don't know if they will, but we need to seal all this up. Now, here's the thing. I don't know if I want to make it so you can chop down more trees here, like put in more minecart rails and have this big section for chopping trees. I think we've got a big enough area already. Like, this is pretty huge. So what I may do is when I have my big portal in here, you can just walk out and it's a nice big laneway down the middle of the farm so you can get to one end to the other really quickly. You can get to your vine farm. And I may just put grass down there so we get more ocelots spawn. But I think that may be what I'm doing. I might even keep this here, put it right in the dead center, and that'd be pretty cool. So that is it from me for today, guys. The tree farm is as good as done. I'm just going to seal up the area so we don't get pesky ocelots ruining our minecarts. And then we're done and this thing will be open. So thanks for watching, guys. I'm Cortezerino. See you later.